Boom!
Boom, we are now.
Welcome everybody to number
445.
445th Off the Lip Radio Show, live from the Santa Cruz boardroom. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in and supporting us. We have great sponsors. We have great people who follow the show, so I just want to say thank you for that. Tonight, Neil,
We're going to mention him. We're going to mention him tonight.
We are going to mention it.
Got it.
Forgive the sponsors if we forget sometimes to let you know how important you are to us and how thankful we are. So tonight we will, for sure, let everybody in the public world know that you guys are awesome. And support our sponsors, please. But without further ado, I want to let everybody know tonight's a special show. We have Darryl Flea Virostko here, a legend, 3-time Mavericks Champion.
Right.
Great asset to our community. I'm very proud of him, and I'm happy he's here. Darryl, thank you very much for coming to the show tonight.
Right on, TC.
Family's good, everything's good. Catch us up to date. How are your kids? How old are they?
Yeah, my kids are doing really good. They have my genes, so they're pretty crazy sometimes, you know. But it's all good, you know. I love it. They're 6 and 9.
Wow.
And just smart, beautiful little girls that are you know, learning piano and skateboarding and surfing and you know.
You seem involved.
Oh, totally. Yeah, no, I'm part of the just totally involved, focused all the time. You know, there's no weird distractions for me. You know, no late nights or anything like that. So it's all about the kids.
Would you have thought 20 years ago that we'd be having this conversation about your kids right now?
Yeah, I would never have even thought about it. You know, but it's so nice to have that now. You know, it's just like seeing it through their eyes and seeing what you can do to make their lives better, you know?
Right.
And maybe learn from your mistakes to teach them how to avoid those situations.
So my kids are older, so I don't really know what's going on right now. How is the atmosphere of raising children in Santa Cruz today?
It's been pretty tough, just like as far as like having kids to play with, friends and stuff like that. And it's tough all the way around, you know, with homeschool and things like that. But it's fun, you know, just like being with them all the time. Just like I accepted it that like, hey, this is how it has to be right now. We have to get rid of this thing, and I'm trying to make it fun for them as much as possible. You know, my wife really takes good care of the kids too. You know, reading and they're both learning piano, so they're staying busy during this pandemic and. It's been pretty good for them. You know, we do little nature camps with them, and they go to their little preschool. My youngest goes to where her preschool was just to be the helper a couple days a week.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so she's like a little leader over there, you know, a little boss girl, and helps out. So it's really cool.
Well, that's gotta be good for her to be like the older kid, and you know, like. To those younger kids, they must look up to her. Makes her fun, makes her feel good.
Yeah, she's been there, done it. Her teacher just loves her. She's super helpful. Yeah.
As far as surfing goes with your kids, did they want to surf? Did you throw them in the deep end? And is it something? How's that work with the kids?
No, I didn't really I don't think throwing them in the deep end. I just brought them to the beach. You know what I mean? Like if they were playing in the sand, they were surfing. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like just. We're going out in the water. Yeah, we are. You know, I've had a couple situations where I've brought them out, and like, we actually brought my daughter Lily out to the point one day, and I was too cool to wear a leash. You know, oh, it's small. Don't worry about it. Just sit on the board. And you know, my pride kind of got in the way of this situation, and we took off on a wave like a whitewater, and she was on the front, and I was on the back, and the whitewater just bucked us both off. And then the board went all the way in at Pleasures, and we were swimming together, and she was a little freaked out, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's little whitewashes, and I'm holding her, like, just go under the whitewash, it's okay, but the board just went all the way in. So
She wasn't expecting that.
No, so we were swimming, and that kind of freaked her out a little bit, but she jumped right back in it, and she surfs, and she loves it, and we go together as a family, you know, and I'm at the point where I could actually go get a couple of waves at places, and then come in and have lunch on the beach with them, and they boogie board sometimes, and it's just fun, you know, it's a family thing. If we're gonna go, we're gonna go with the family, and it's great.
Like hanging out at the sandbar in the summer.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
all the other families that you've grown up with as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if it's Pels or if it's up north somewhere, I like to go up north a lot. But you know, it's been tricky the last like 2 months probably because the tides have been switching. You know, from morning tides, they're going to be now in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Kind of the afternoon is better
Yeah.
because it's really low and it's after school and you know after studies or whatever. So I'm looking forward to these next few months for sure.
Let's talk about Fleahab, can we? Because that's obviously your baby, and you put a tremendous amount of work into Fleahab.
Yeah.
And I remember I was telling him earlier, TC, I remember the first time I heard the word Fleahab was of a demo, like a pre-show, pre-movie thing demo for the press at the Dream Inn for the movie The West Siders. And there was you and Barney, I think, and Rat Boy were there that day.
Yeah.
Right? And I gave him my card up to come on the show and talked about Fleahab. I'm like, well, you know, I was like, yeah, right. But anyway.
How many years ago was that?
That was probably.
I started Fleahab, like the non-profit Fleahab, trying to raise money to be able to open. A few years after I got sober, so maybe like 8 years ago now. Maybe a little more.
When was that? When that
8
movie?
or 9.
When did that movie come out? When did that movie come out? Came out. West Side movie.
I don't know.
Probably what? Got to be 15 years ago, right?
At least, yeah, it's been a long
Yeah,
time.
no. Well, you know, I got sober in 12 years. I've been sober, so I think it was
It was
right
about-
around that time.
Okay. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
just, I had doubts, you know, and then now he's, you know, proved me wrong at least, you know, and I'm very proud of him for doing that. But
Yeah, and the house has been open since 2016.
yeah, can you talk about the house a little bit for people who are watching?
Is it the same house?
It's the same house, the same Fleahab house. It's been here for 5 years now, and it's been pretty steadily full. You know, full is only 6 people. You know, I feel like less is better when you're trying to recover and you're around a bunch of strangers and stuff. So that's why it's a non-profit, and we raise money through doing events and stuff like that. But the house, you know, there's surf equipment, golf equipment, bikes. There's a gym in the house. All the guys just basically hang out and feed off each other. It's a comedy show over there sometimes. I headed over there after this for sure, but it's really helping a lot of people.
Can you share perhaps one success story for someone who's entered Fleahab and left and then gone on to do better things?
Yeah. Well, right now, I can tell you my house manager, this guy Chris.
Yeah.
He came to Fleahab. He like called me like I need help, and he had a drug problem, and just was horrible. You know what I mean? Just struggling for years and years. And I said, yeah, come on up. I got a bed for you. And he came up from San Diego and just stayed at Fleahab and did everything he had to do and stayed sober. And he's a really good surfer. He was watching all of us back in the day, watching all those videos we were making with TR, and he was just like, no way, those guys are, you know what I mean? And then he came up here and we were surfing together now,
Yeah.
you know, and stuff like that. And then, and now he's the house manager, and he's completely killing it. He's got a good job. He surfs all the time, and he's healthy.
Yeah.
And he's back seeing his family and doing those types of things. So
Yeah.
That's
that's,
amazing.
you know,
Yeah, that's a success story.
And even though I think a superior success story to that is the fact that you've been doing this now, your sobriety for 12 years,
yeah.
and giving back is such almost thankless. But the community thanks you, and we thank you. But sometimes you forget how much important your work is in that aspect.
Yeah, no, it's fun work. I love to see people succeed. You know, come in broken and then succeed. And it's really cool right now because I work at the Beacon House in Monterey too, which I go down there and take people surfing and hiking and Big Sur every weekend. And I meet these people in there that they're there for 30 days in treatment. And a lot of times, most of those people that are there that I meet there come over to Fleahab.
Right.
And they have that 30 days sobriety, and we already have that relationship, and it's a really good team deal.
What helped you most with your sobriety? I mean, there wasn't a Fleahab available at the time for you. So what helped you, and how did you make it through?
The ocean saved my life.
Right.
That's the number one thing for me. It was surfing like I was a kid again, you know? Surfing was like when I was a kid, surfing was the best. It's like, oh my god, I love this so much. And then it went into like a rocky stage where like pro surfing and you had to be places and this and that, and it was tough, you know, and it got crazy.
Yeah.
But then throughout my rehab and stuff like that, I got to find the ocean again.
Yeah.
I was like, now I can just surf for fun, and I have that, and that's what really saved my life, and that's why everyone needs to draw upon some like passion, whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be surfing. It can be
To
art.
help them with sobriety.
Yeah, just whatever they're passionate about and actually makes them happy. Just immerse themselves in that instead of some negative behavior. You're gonna succeed probably.
Which, by the way, you're back.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're surfing. I feel like you're as good as ever right now.
It's weird because before I was probably hit or miss on how I was feeling at the time here and there, you know, and now I just feel like I'm always just solid, you know what I mean? Like my body feels good. I think about surfing more and kind of different lines I want to draw and stuff. I'm way more focused, and it feels good. You know, it just feels good to actually go get exercise and be healthy.
Right.
And
not with no expectations.
No, and that's what it's about. It's just about exercise. It makes me happy, you know what I mean? And especially when I don't surf in town, you know, that makes me even happier. But it's just fun, you know. Surfing is fun, sports are fun, and healthy activities are helpful.
But it did seem like I saw quite a few images this summer of you at Weasel Reef.
Oh, yeah, you know, that spot's kind of the, you know.
The one that you hang out at
Oh,
sometimes?
I love that. I love it. You know, you grow up in places and you have a relationship with those spots, and you know.
That's cool. Welcome back to being up surfing, and like you said, it's what you found your base again.
Yeah, no, it just was right there all along, you know, and that's the tricky thing is when I was in rehab, they were talking about, the higher power and God and this and that, and I was a little bit pushed away from the whole God thing. I was not wanting to use that word, and they said, well, you know, what's your higher power? And I always thought, like, I've been out at Mavericks when it's 40 feet, and a wave was going to be on my head, and I was like, just please, let me just get through this, you know, and I talked to something, and that may as well just be the ocean.
It can be whatever you want it to be.
It can be whatever you want it to be.
Be whatever you want it to be.
I look at the ocean, I bring my clients from the beacon house to the ocean when it's 15 feet, and they just stare at it.
Yeah.
And they're just mesmerized, you know, and the ocean does that to people. So I think water therapy, ocean therapy is healing, really healing.
The Mavericks Days, you have good memories and more good memories and bad memories, or more bad memories and good memories?
No, I have great memories of Mavericks.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Mavericks had a great relationship.
Yeah.
You know, there was a couple of gnarly situations that I learned a lot from, but for the most part, I feel like we had a really good relationship. When I walked away, I was okay with it. You know, I was like, all right, that was fun. Thank you.
Would you go back there now? Now you've got kids and stuff at home. Would you go back there now?
I'm not going out there paddling around with 60, 70 people.
Right, it's got busy. Yeah, it got crazy.
I could see myself maybe grabbing the rope for a couple of toes if I was around or something like that. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
But you know, I like to surf
with the kids on the beach, having a bonfire and having lunch.
Yeah, you know, big waves up north and stuff like that, and that's enough for excitement for me.
Yeah.
These days. So.
Yeah.
And just so the viewers can refresh themselves, what years did you win Mavericks?
99, 2000, and 2004.
The only 3-time winner?
3 in a row, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is quite a feat.
Yeah,
Does that get? I mean, I know during your pro career you made pretty good money surfing. Was Mavericks a pretty good purse during those years?
1 year was a pretty good purse. I think 30 grand was the first prize. You know.
Was that the year that you guys ran the Dream In and blew it all the money?
I think the Dream In got blown up in '99.
There's legendary stories about that.
Yeah, and
you bring them out too.
There was no holds barred. That was everything in the room.
Ended up on the beach.
Was on the beach. And I think I had to pay like $800 or something.
You got off easy.
I think so. It sounds pretty easy, but
they got shortchanged.
It was, you know, you don't think when you're, young and just having fun with all your friends. You just like it's just one day, go for it, you know.
Well, such an international event, and to have the local boys with it.
Yeah.
so amazing, and the town rocks that, and I could just see the energy in that room that night.
Yeah, no, and then the papers that you're all in it. I was just, honestly, like, I just got some tape digitized, and I look at it, it's so hard to watch my old self, because honestly, I was a prick, too.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's hard for me to even watch, because it's how you go out around and stuff like that, and when you're winning and maybe not losing as much, and everyone's paying you, and everyone wants to be your friend, you get this big head going,
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna say you had a lot of confidence.
I did. I feel like I had a lot of confidence surfing Mavericks. I didn't really feel like I was, but like just around town and stuff, how I held myself, I look back and I go, God,
That's not, yeah.
it's not me, and people change, and it's hard to watch, but it's good to see that,
Yeah.
Realizing that is the conquering matter.
Yeah, of course.
Is looking
Yeah.
back and being like, that's not me. I'm gonna be different.
Yeah. No, and people can change,
Mhm.
So, and that you gotta support people in these kind of changing times.
What,
you know?
do you remember the day you decided you want to become sober? And how did that come about?
I actually knew I had to get sober, even when I was using drugs. I just knew, I was like, I have to get sober, and so when I made the commitment to get sober in 2 weeks, something inside my brain still said, okay, today's the day you gotta go get sober, and I drove myself with my wife to the Beacon House,
Yeah.
So something in my brain was still there going, nope, today's the day, you said 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and I guess that's a strong will or something,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just knew, when I was smoking meth, I was like, this is bad, and this has got me, and I knew,
Yeah.
I knew I needed to make changes.
So you're smart enough to know that. You knew it was bad for you.
Yeah, I knew that
Right.
I needed to stop, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And
Well,
I feel
probably
like,
looking in the mirror
yeah,
during that time, because I remember you didn't look the same during that time.
no, I was taxed, and I just knew that I needed help, and I knew that I needed to go somewhere to get help.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting, Darryl, is that a lot of times, like my daughter went to rehab, and when she got there, they said, you can't have your old friends.
Right.
And she's like, no, she got
Well,
out
plus
30
you-
days, she came home, and they were right.
Yeah.
She ended up going back. But you sort of, then, here you are in Santa Cruz.
Yeah,
Was that tough for you?
I think if I add something, I think you find out who your real friends are
Yeah.
when you become sober. The good ones, the real ones,
Right.
stick around. Go, you need help. We're going to help them out. The ones on the edge, they run off looking for somebody else.
Well, I think in the beginning, when I first came back to Santa Cruz, I first went to Bonnie Doon. My mom helped me tons in this whole thing. She set everything up at the Beacon House, supported me completely, still supporting me through Fleahab. She helps do the books at Fleahab. But when I first came back to Santa Cruz, I moved to Bonnie Doon for a year. So I sold my house. I said, okay, I'm paying rent for a year in Bonnie Doon. I had a coffee commitment in Santa Cruz. I'd come make coffee for the NA meeting. And I just kind of like did my own thing for a year. I didn't want to just like leave my friends, the friends that I thought were my friends. And so I still hung around them a little bit. And then, I remember one time everyone's like passing meth around at this one place. And I was sitting there and I was like, this is stupid. What is it? What am I doing? Because I wasn't, it meant nothing to me, It went right past me and I just like, oh, they were doing nothing with their lives. And I was just like, I'm out of here. And those true friends you're talking about, they come back into your life. They step back when you're going crazy, and they should.
Yeah.
And then as they see you doing good and sober for longer and longer, certain ones start coming back. And
Yeah.
next thing you know, it's like, a reunion.
Yeah. When I quit drinking for 15 years, I found out who my real friends were.
Yeah.
The ones on the edge, kind of like they disappeared and left,
Mhm.
never saw them again. Your true friends see what you're doing, try and help you, and stick with you, no matter through thick or thin. That's what friendship's about.
Yeah, and it's when you do make that decision to be sober
Yeah.
and step away from those people that are still using
Yeah.
and stuff. it's sad. You get
Yeah.
you actually see people die, and your friends kind of start disappearing.
Yeah.
To stick to that path.
Have you had any of those friends come to you and say, "Hey, can you help guide me through this mission"?
I've had a couple friends, come to me and say, "Hey, I think I have a problem," and I'm like, "Yeah, you do," right away, And
You don't mince any words.
And
No.
I'm just like, "Hey, I see it all the time. I'm pretty supportive, and some of them are still sober, just killing it, And it's night and day. It really is night and day. Better parents, just surfing again. These things that they just put to the side, they're doing again. So.
Right. The other day was Barney's 50th birthday, right?
Yeah.
What do you think Barney would be doing today if he was still if he was still alive?
Barney would be the same person he ever was. He'd be spilling coffee all over his shirt. He would be doing art, all kinds of art, and hopefully surfing.
Yeah.
Hopefully we could be surfing more. I feel like in the end it wasn't enough surfing for him. But it's not a day that goes by that I think of him or not think of him. I met with his sister today, Amelia, and we had a couple tears together just thinking of stuff, because he was a unique person, not just for Santa Cruz. In the world, you don't get those kind of people.
No. Yeah.
That are just above all others, just how they do things,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I can't wait. You said you just digitized some tapes. I did too, of the surf TV show we had that
Oh.
Barney and I did.
Yeah.
And Barney, I didn't realize he did like 25 shows that I have the only copies of.
Wow.
And there are some amazing, like one in particular, he went to the boardwalk and just interviewed people,
Yeah.
random people,
Yeah.
in his crazy way that he does stuff, and
Yeah.
he would ask like crazy questions to people, and I can't wait to share that with people because they're gonna just be like, "Oh my god, it'll blow minds."
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah.
I look back at Barney last few, like a year. He always had dog hair on.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He was like, just want to get
He
the
drives
roller.
around with those two little dogs on his lap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we all miss Barney for sure.
Yeah.
And that's a.
Hey, can we talk about the 100 wave fundraiser that you're doing for Fleahab?
Yeah, sure.
What's the 100 wave challenge?
Yeah, it's I got this idea from Sean Thompson. He does like a 100 wave challenge for his thing, and so I just kind of got it. Kind of took it from him, like the idea of it, but we kind of are doing it differently. And this year has been tough because of the pandemic, so we figured like can't do any dinners or anything like that. So why don't we do something a little different, And so basically the 100 Wave Challenge is one day. Anyone can sign up online at fleahab.org, and you get as many sponsors as you can, people that want to support you in catching as many waves as possible. You can, the sponsorship is from $5 to like up or even further than $20 per wave, and you just go out and catch as many waves as possible. People can go online and sponsor a surfer as well, and so that's been pretty fun putting it together. It's been tough too because it's our first time doing it, so we're seeing what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
But I think it's a really cool way to get everybody involved worldwide that wants to support something like that.
Well, earlier we were talking, and one of our customers here at the boardroom, Brody, signed up. I think you said he was the first to sign up.
Yep.
And the boardroom here is going to sponsor him.
Yep.
It's a fantastic cause, and so anybody that's watching, your business can sponsor that, and it's a tax write-off.
Can you give out the like fleahab.com or is it?
Yeah, so it's fleahab.org, and you click on the 100 Wave Challenge, and you can find out the information there.
Okay.
And you could be a sponsor, a surfer, or you could be a surfer and sign up as a surfer and fill out your profile and go to different networks that you have if you can to get sponsors. And I think some people can just go online and sponsor a surfer and pick a surfer and
I was going to ask that.
do it
If somebody doesn't know one of the surfers that are participating, they can just say, "Hey, I want to donate," and you can make sure it gets to the right people.
Yeah, and you see the surfers on there, their profiles, and you can pick a surfer. And if you want to nominate your son and then sponsor your son, something like that, or your daughter, and it's just a cool thing. So whatever we do to raise, whatever we raise, it'll just be a fun deal. You know?
What's the timeline for it? When's it start? When's it end?
So we're already in the month, so it's ending at the end of November.
Okay.
So yeah, this is like go time.
Go time.
You know? And
Sign up.
yeah, like I'm basically gonna try to catch 100 waves. That's my goal, but like that could be tough. I mean, I think I'm gonna pick a low tide day at Cal's and like grab a little board that I catch waves and stand up, get off, stand up, just try to catch as many waves as possible.
Yeah.
I think 100 waves is a lot.
20 years ago at the lane, he'd do it in about 2 days.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be fun. You know, it's the start of something that we want to continue to do in the future.
Yeah.
Because it's a really good way to get everyone involved at these other places. You know.
Are you, is Fleahab, because normally you have a golf tournament and an auction. I mean, you have some great fundraising.
Yeah.
And with the pandemic, are you guys okay right now?
Yeah, we're doing okay. You know, we have some people that support us, that help us out. But this does really matter. You know, since we're only having one this year.
Mm-hmm.
We were like all set up we're trying to we really love to help the women population here in Santa Cruz, and it's been tough, the whole pandemic and finding a house to rent and stuff like that, because we want to rent a house and open a women's SLE that we could help women. And so that was our goal throughout the last year of fundraising and stuff. Like this pandemic kind of threw a monkey wrench in it, so it's still there. It's just we want to just stay active right now and just keep doing enough to still be helping the community and just kind of getting our word out there that we're still alive and we want to help others.
Cool.
So ultimately, we're working on a women's sober
The
living
big
home.
picture eventually is, I mean, if you're out there and you have a house and you want to rent it to us, we'd love to talk to you.
Okay.
Well, and it seems like, you've been in the current location 5 years.
Yeah.
So your follow through as a sober home is working, and you guys are being successful, paying your rent and having a relationship with the landlord.
Totally. You know, we're the best tenants on the block, you know, and we're quiet, you know, and we're not like a regular SLE where there's 15 or 20 guys coming in and out at all different hours of the day and stuff like that. So we're only 6 people, and that's the same thing we do with women. Even less maybe just 4 women or something like that, and just enough to be able to help people and throughout the same theory, surfing and exercise and sports and healthy eating and stuff like that.
So the house is in great shape. You've got no problems with the home itself.
No, the house is in great shape. We Foodsmith gives us free food every week.
Jamie does.
Wow.
Jamie Smith. So basically, the guys can order whatever they want for that week, and they drop the free food off.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a sponsor of ours, so we have that relationship. It's really helpful for guys.
What a great thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
They got good food.
Well done, Jamie.
Yeah, it's healthy.
Yeah. So I mean, there's been so much support from the community. Like you supported it.
I always try to. As being a nonprofit, potentially the person or people that could get this women's sober living home set up might be able to write off some of that rent. If the house is say it's worth $4,000 or $5,000, they rent to you for $3,500, $3,000, whatever. They could write off the rest as a donation.
Yeah, I don't know all the ins and outs about that. But I feel like
has tax implications.
Right. I mean, it really would.
Yeah.
Some people who have a lot of rental income need to write offs more than the rental income sometimes. So people who are listening, that might be something.
No,
look into.
I agree.
WSL coming back to Steamers Lane.
That's right. It's gonna be fun.
Water Patrol?
Stay out of the water.
Are you gonna be Water Patrol?
Of course. Yes.
What's TV there?
Yes. No. There's gonna be no spectators.
Oh, really?
So that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Only way there'll be spectators is if it goes orange.
Yeah. Or if you
We're
have your
still
own
in
boat.
red. If it goes purple, the contest is canceled. So there's going to be just walking by.
Yeah.
They're going to make everyone keep going. You could walk around the point and then maybe just walk back, instead of just hanging out.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
No trials.
Wow.
So most likely, I don't know if Nat Young is the highest rated surfer in North America. So he'll probably get the spot, which I would imagine he deserves it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be it's exciting, you know, having those guys back.
Having Nat do a WSL event at the lane gotta be a
Home advantage.
favorite, right? I mean, like,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
What's that?
He's gotta be one of the favorites. You
I
know?
think he's got home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's yeah.
You got home field advantage for sure.
Oh, big time.
Right?
Because he doesn't pick junkie weight.
Yeah.
And every way he gets up there, he just completely smashes it, you know. So I'm excited for him, you know.
Yeah, I bet he's excited too.
I missed their announcement for. Did they WSL give a whole schedule? Have they released that?
Not the whole schedule. They're basically doing pipeline first, December, and then January Sunset Beach,
Okay.
and then over to Steamer Lane, and then I think they go to the Australia Lake.
How do they end up coming back here? Was people fighting for it here, or they just?
I
had
think
the,
it had something to do with just the pandemic.
Yeah.
And doing all this, they wanted to, you know, keep all the events here in America, the ones that are going to be here,
Yeah.
and just knock them out before they go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then Trestles, you know, it's going to be the finals.
Well, and Dirk, who owns the WSL, has a home here in Santa Cruz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that might.
And it's such a good place for a contest. The whole Point Break,
Yeah.
split feed, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
such a good setup.
No, it's always it gets a lot of exposure through the media, so it's always a good investment
Yeah.
if you're the title sponsor of that event. Do we have a title sponsor?
I didn't hear of one yet.
Because I know that's a really tough thing as well these days for pro surfing
Yeah.
Yeah.
at any level.
Yeah.
Any sport.
Yeah,
any-
whether you're a kid or a aspiring pro, it's
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah, it is.
You got some people hooking you up right now that we should give a shout out to? Do you got anybody?
You know, I love the O'Neill wetsuits, you know,
Mhm.
and Bev and shop, and that's always great. Pearson Arrow makes my boards. I love him.
And
you
did
know.
I see that? Are you back doing your West Side airbrushes? Someone said that they saw you riding one.
No, I have in the past, you know, but not lately.
Okay.
You know, I just kind of keep it simple, a little color on the rails, and.
When are airbrushes coming back?
You know, TC.
I know
You're the
TC.
king. You're the king, TC.
I'm just saying.
You're the king.
I'll do one for TC.
Can you tell us one wave at Mavs in either one of any one of your victories that you truly remember and can describe to the audience that listening tonight?
I mean, there's multiple ways.
Right.
But I feel like one wave stands out in my head more than others, and it was basically on my head, and it was crazy because like I took off on the first wave of the set and kind of poked and didn't go like over the falls and get beat and walked out of the impact zone. So I was popped up and looked up, and there was like probably like a 55-foot wave. Just no one wanted it. Everybody's scratching, and I'm swimming towards it. And it's, the whole thing is just in the bowl, just, and it just barrels over my head, and I barely got under the lip. But it was crazy just swimming towards it
Yeah.
and seeing that. And
So-
just,
Well, luckily you did.
So it wasn't even a wave that you caught. This is just trying to, save your own life.
it was just it was an intense situation.
Yeah.
You know, because I remember just like, oh my gosh,
I'm gonna die.
stay calm.
Yeah.
Like, oh, just swim, you know, and then there's been just multiple waves, you know, probably the heat against Slater, you know, when I was just going, you know, and I think I ate it on my first wave, and then just paddled right back out and just whipping it in the bowl. It just felt good, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you
So-
have a reputation for that time of your life for just going.
You have to.
Yeah,
You
or
almost have-
why a man?
Yeah, you almost have to be a little bit.
Yeah, but you won the event 3 times. You must have had some kind of rhythm with that place.
Well, yeah.
Right? You must have.
You have
more
to-
so than anybody else.
You have to be able to just whip it underneath that thing, you know, underneath this bowl. And it's not hard to catch when you're right there, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that Richard Schmidt helped me with that because I watched his positioning and stuff in big waves, and he was really, really good at that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just having the guts to do that, you know, and maybe not just like when you see a set coming, don't just like always paddle for the horizon, just kind of, oh, okay, all right, you know, you gotta almost just wait for it to come, you
Right.
know.
Right.
Do you still have any of your Mavericks equipment?
I do have some contest boards and stuff like that. Yeah,
Cool.
and I got all my YMA trophies and things like that. So
Good.
yeah,
Yeah, you should be proud of that.
yeah,
Was that? I mean, you've
And
had a
this-
spectacular wipeout at YMA.
yeah.
Was that probably like the wipeout of your career?
Definitely, probably one of them. Yeah, but that was a heavy. I think I missed the first wave, and then second wave I was like, oh, I didn't go on the first wave of the set or something. I pulled back and I could have went, and I was just like, oh, okay, I can't do that, you know.
Right.
And so I was going regardless until it just like got square, and I was like, oh, no.
And you got injured in that?
I didn't get injured on that wave. But I basically got beat. My rash guard got ripped off. My board broke. Got to the beach, grabbed a different board, new rash guard, went back out, and I took off on another wave. And I thought it was gonna barrel, and then I was like, oh no, it's not gonna barrel. So I tried to straighten off, and the lip landed on my knee, and then I got hurt. Yeah. So the same day.
Do your kids know of your history?
Nah,
Just
no, they know, you know.
yeah, but it's not. It's maybe down the road they understand a little better.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
really. They know that I was, you know, surfing and whatever. But
You don't put on a rash guard and march around the house.
no, it's funny because it's like I walk, you know, I see a lot of people and everyone's like, I know a lot of people in Santa Cruz, and it seems like, and they're like, you daddy, you know everybody. How come you know everybody? I was like, oh, I've been to Santa Cruz my whole life. You know?
Right.
So
Right.
it's just like, you know, when the time comes, I have all the pictures and the covers and all that stuff in boxes. So when the time's right or whatever, they can look through it. It's funny, you know, some of
Yeah.
those model shots with ads and stuff. And it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But it's gonna, it's, you know.
Your favorite hairstyle back in the day was what? Because you had a lot of different hairstyles going on. Your favorite?
I think the polka dots was,
Yes.
I mean, it was one of the best.
Yeah.
But it was always changing. I definitely look back on those tapes of when I dyed my hair black, and I was like, wow, what was I thinking? Yeah. But it's all that timing of things when
Yeah.
you're young and you're just, you know, being just really expressive. And,
TC, was he a part of your show? Did he come on your?
I think we had you on back then. Yeah,
You
on
did?
Surf
Yeah,
TV back then.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in fact, I'm sure of it.
You have to dig that out.
Well, I just got 20 hours back I haven't even looked at. You know, so I have to really dig through it. My daughter's going to come down and we're going to do a best of over Christmas.
Okay.
And so we'll have a best of tape this show around. But getting back to your travels, is there a place that because you went all over the world surfing. One thing that gifted you from becoming to your level is that you got to travel the world.
Yeah.
A favorite place that you traveled?
I've really enjoyed Africa, you know, going to Africa with all my friends and staying at J Bay and surfing that point break was insane, you know.
That's like every kid's dream.
And just, you know, riding ostriches and like seeing monkeys and tigers.
Seeing the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in Africa, one of the first days we were there, we were like driving around and we stopped and like walking through the bush a little bit and this like cricket jumped on me like that big. Boom, big cricket, and I was like, oh my god. And it's just like, whoa, we're in Africa, things are just bigger. And,
Yeah.
you know, there's more stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just really cool, you know. But boat trips in Indonesia, that's I think back now, I'm like, I took some of those for granted, and those were really special. Just really good food. They drive you around. You surf the best waves. You know, you fish. You have fun.
In hindsight, I'm sure it was like, I thought that was work.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You know, you're like,
Yeah.
God, that was the time of my life.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Like I look back at the passport that I have and just go through a little bit, and it's pretty cool. You know?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Let's jump back on the 100 Wave Challenge again.
Okay.
Let's let people watching, because this is a big fundraiser for Fleahab. Sure, every penny helps the cause. How can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, just on our website they can.
And that's Fleahab.org.
Fleahab.org, yep. And then just leave a message, or on Instagram they could contact me, or just leave a message on Fleahab.
Any level of surfer can do this?
Any
Can you be a
level of
body
surf-
surfer, a
any-
boogie boarder?
Any wave riding, anything.
Who?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. My kids are gonna do it with me.
Awesome.
And who came up with the name Fleahab? Because that's the perfect name.
You know, do you remember Mousy.
No.
Yeah, I do.
He does.
Mousy. Aaron Taylor. I got back from rehab, and I was telling him, I want to start something to help some people or whatever. He's like, you should call it Fleahab. I was like, oh man.
Perfect.
That's heavy.
Right.
But it's just,
Then you had to do it.
yeah, it just works. You know?
Yeah.
So,
It's really good.
cool.
That's awesome.
We got them go TC, but
Yeah, I know he's got a big night.
He's not. Is he seasoned guest? Do you think? So I know what his answer is going to be. So we always ask our seasoned guests. We're not kind of on the cusp of being a seasoned guest.
Well, you ask them. They'll be interested.
What your favorite decade and why? And I think I'm going to know the answer to that question. I think I know the answer is going to be now. But what was your favorite decade or couple of years surfing, or in your life?
I would say now.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
From 2010 till now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Perfect.
just been the most. I remember the most of this decade. and
What decade?
And I enjoy that part of it.
Yeah.
You know? Making memories.
I saw you the other day with your kid in the bagel raid. I'm like, you know what? You could tell she was just there with Dad. She's a day out. You sat there on that brick outside, had your bagels, and she was just into being with Dad for the day. I think it was cool.
Yeah, no, it's so fun. It's cool when you can actually separate them and have just a little daddy.
Yeah, one-on-one.
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We really appreciate
Thank
it.
you, everyone out there, and let's get in the water.
Keep up the good work, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I've been saying this for a long time now because you've been doing this for a bit. But I'm really proud of you.
Thank you, Keith.
Yeah, I mean, you pulled up the bootstraps and you pulled it off, and you are a celebrity in town, and I feel like you're a leading by example.
No, he did.
You know,
Yeah.
and you can really help people just by how you're living your life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your word means a lot. You know, it's just your word in general, our word.
Yeah.
If you're gonna say something, just do it.
Yeah. I was a doubter, and I'm now obviously since you've been coming on the show for a few years, total believer, and I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You've helped a lot of
This
people.
town's proud of you.
Yeah.
You know,
It's cool how we all can work together, and you guys have been really helpful too. So.
Yeah.
Well, everybody that's listening, by all means,
Fleahab.org.
go to fleahab.org, sign up, donate a little bit to anything you can possibly spare. I know times are tough,
Yeah.
but you've proven to everybody that what you're doing is real and successful.
Yeah.
And I think everybody, that's something to get behind. So
Cool.
let's try to rally troops, and we'll show that on social media. And I know we got some sponsors.
Surf City Sandwich. Surf City Sandwich. I don't know how Fig's doing right now, but thank you for Fig from Surf City Sandwich, right up the street at 41st Avenue in SoCal, right there. Merge 4 socks. He's gonna.
I got them on.
We gotta get. Sydney said we gotta get him. She wants him to have a pair of Lane socks. I didn't have it. I'm gonna.
You get free socks.
I'm gonna get. She's gonna give me some next on Monday.
I'll get it right now.
Chill Out Cafe across the street where they roll the fatties.
They roll the
Beach Nest Vacation Rentals. Perfect vacation pad in Santa Cruz. No better folks to call than beachnest.com. People's Coffee. Peoplescoffee.net. Best coffee in town on 17th and Bromer. Pizza One and Aptos. It's the die for to go order 684-1110 at pizza-1.com. Jamie Jensen, thank you to Gabby for the incredible massage at 425-9500 at Santa Cruz Core. Thank you to Alnuma and Aloha Island Grill. The listening staff, now's the time for it's freaking cold, the water's freaking cold, time for your Surface earplugs at thelisteningstacks.com. The Wave Clock, great Christmas gift, Christmas coming up, thewaveclock.com. The Kayak Connection, I want to thank Dave and his wife Jess for sponsoring the show for so long. Sean Rovine from Sean Rovine Farmers Insurance, 462-3222. Yeah, you still stealing my damn waves. RovineInsurance.com. And we have Rootstock Collective down the street. It's now sponsored.
Brand new, beautiful shop there. And we have Steph Lotz, who's the president of Santa Cruz Wave. She's also a realtor with EXP Realtor. Give her a shout on Steph, lowercase Lotz, lowercase Realtor on Instagram. And last but not least, we have Janae Medved with Compass Real Estate. She's doing some incredible stuff with kids. We're gonna she's gonna come back on the show here in a couple of weeks, talk about that. And her name is Janae Medved with Compass Real Estate. Coming up Tuesday, Manu Koenig's coming back to tell us what he's gonna be doing.
All right.
When he got elected, let's see what you're gonna be doing,
All right. So the gloves are off. So we got to figure out what's next.
Right?
Yeah.
Thursday the 19th,
the Santa Cruz health officer,
Gail,
Newell, will be coming on the show.
we can find out how we're doing in the
Lots
red
of
zone.
stuff, talk about that, and a bunch of music coming up next Friday. Alex and Sarah live again on a top secret Pleasure Point location.
Secret spot.
No cover charge. Plenty of dancing. Have a good time next Friday night. And we will see you all on Tuesday night.
Here we go. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in.